All families have their times of trouble. Sometimes this leads to a trip to the court. In Claremont County, the Domestic Relations Court is located in Batavia. In this video, we'll explain the people you will meet along the way, the people of the legal system. What role does an attorney play in domestic relations?
Well, normally what happens is one of the parties hires an attorney to represent them in the hearing. Domestic can be a wide variety of matters, that mainly is divorce cases. And in divorce cases, you're going to have one attorney representing the husband and one the wife, and they handle all the matters for the parties. Domestic can also have some follow-up things, post-divorce matters, such as contempts on not paying child support or interference with parenting time, other matters like that that may be changed over time. But they end up representing the parties in their legal actions in domestic court.
Is an attorney required?
No, it is not. A person can always represent themselves, and quite often for minor hearings, people do not get attorneys. There's even times when people, even in divorces that are contested, people do not hire attorneys. So it is not required that somebody have legal representation.
Your attorney may work closely with a paralegal. Paralegals may interview clients, research legal issues, assist clients in complying with requests, gather evidence, prepare the client for court. Paralegals may not give legal advice. You may also speak to the attorney's legal secretary.
Our secretary answers all the phones. She does all my paperwork, such as I dictate letters, documents, complaints, things to file with the court. She takes care of all that. She takes care of a lot of the filing. She deals with my clients on a regular basis.
Is a judge different from a magistrate?
In Ohio, judges are elected. You have to be an attorney to be a judge. You have to have been an attorney, I believe, for 6 years. But they are elected by the public in the general elections. Magistrates are also attorneys, just as judges are, but magistrates are appointed to the position of magistrate by the judge. The magistrates will hear cases on behalf of the judge. We have 3 full-time magistrates here who hear cases under my direction. And then they'll do a written decision, which I will review and then sign off on.
Who do I talk to if I do not agree with the judge or magistrate's decision?
If the parties do not like the decision of the magistrate, they can appeal it. It's called objections, but it's basically an appeal to me saying, here's what the magistrate did wrong. And then I look at it in more depth, I review the transcript, and then I issue a written decision about whether the magistrate's decision should be changed or kept the same or whatever. If I hear a case, I also issue a written decision, but if they don't like my decision, they have to go file an appeal up in the Court of Appeals.
Working with a mediator.
We have mediation in our court. We have several magistrates who have been trained to work as mediators, and so they, as part of their docket, will have a case where they are doing mediation as opposed to deciding the case. If the magistrate is the mediator in the case, then they would not hear the merits of that case ever. They would only serve as the mediator. And we don't charge anything for court-connected mediation. There are lots of third parties that do mediation as well, but there's a fee involved with that.
If additional help is needed by the parents to come to a custody agreement, a parental investigator may be hired from the court. These investigators collect information from the parents, the child's school, and sometimes even the child. A recommendation is submitted to the parties 2 weeks prior to the scheduled court date. If the parental investigator cannot make a recommendation from her investigation, the court will appoint a guardian ad litem to represent the best interests of the child. A guardian ad litem is an attorney that develops a factual understanding of the child's life, each parent's life, and their relationships through observations in places such as the parent's home and the child's school. The guardian presents the court with necessary unbiased information the judge needs to make a decision and lets the court know how he believes the case should be decided. Is there a clerk or receptionist there to answer my questions?
Well, we have lots of staff. We have, I think, 14 or 15 staff members, but none of them can give legal advice. And that's often when people say, I just have a question. What they really want is somebody to tell them, okay, here's what you need to do to accomplish your goal. Mm-hmm. And we are prohibited from doing that by law. As much as we do like to help people in any way we can, unfortunately that's something we cannot do. But having said that, we do have staff members here who will, if you come in and say, I want to file a motion, they can give you the form.
Some other staff members you may be aware. A court reporter types the official record of the trial. However, domestic relations now uses an audio recording system. A bailiff administers the oaths, marks the exhibits, and generally helps keep the trial running smooth. As of January 2013, domestic relations will no longer use the services of a bailiff in the courtroom. Becoming familiar with these few people will help you through your legal journey.